be sure to check out my Veve and Omi investors group in the description down below. Together we build generational wealth and go over everything you need to be profitable in the Veve markets. Yo, what is going on, y'all? I'm Cavell Anderson, and we are back with another Veve and Ecomi video, man. In this one, we're going to be talking about something that I feel like is huge for newer investors and maybe some OGs who don't really think about this too often. I know anytime you think about something bullish, people call you a moon boy for it, but this information is definitely important for anyone invested in this project so you can make the best decisions possible. We're actually going to be listening to Andrew going over some of the reasons why people want to rent your NFTs. But people don't realize that's a huge passive income opportunity, and it's something that has already been confirmed by the team. Many people don't believe that Metaverse is coming and things like that, but the fact of the matter is, even though you want to be over dramatic, oh, they take so long to do it, what if a company this, what if a company that, even though you want to take that route, building out a Metaverse, like the hardest parts about building out a Metaverse is going to be combining NFTs and crypto and things like that to your Metaverse. As far as actually building a functional Metaverse, like they could just build a Metaverse. It would be easier to just build a random Metaverse. Like it's just the functionality and the nuances behind it is what would take a while. As far as just making a Metaverse look good, I don't know how people could even doubt Veve on that front, because you have people who literally have designed and created Call of Duty and Spider-Man Miles Morales. Like, look at the quality of the stuff that Veve puts out. So it's like, isn't it obvious? Isn't it obvious how strong they are on that side? But yeah, let me know what you all think. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. But this is going to be a big deal as far as passive income goes, as far as what's going to drive value to these NFTs. So I don't think it's a good idea to be selling these NFTs before the whales are even capable of getting onto the platform, before the whales can even put in their big money. And selling these things before they even have the ability to rent them, which is going to boost the value as well. It's just a lot of permanent decisions people are making right now so early on, not realizing this company is still a startup. Even though it's doing what it's doing right now, it's still a startup, man. This company is just at its beginning stages, and you can pretend like the company has had their product available for more than a year, but the fact of the matter is this company has only had this product out for a year. And yeah, I mean, it's just, look at what it's doing already. So yeah, let's go over it. Let's see some of the reasons that people would want to rent, so you can actually understand why this is going to be such a big deal and why there's a huge earning opportunity here. So yeah.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Andrew. So I've seen a lot of posts going around asking about why would anyone want to rent an NFT? It seems like such a far-fetched idea right now, especially when a lot of metaverses aren't grown out and there's not a lot of utility in the metaverse world. It's also a very new thing in the real world, so it just doesn't make a lot of sense as of right now. But if you look 1, 2, 3 years down the road or more, there seems to be plenty of opportunities on why people would want to rent your NFTs and how you can make some passive income just holding your NFTs. So instead of just planning on selling your NFTs for profit, it might be more profitable to actually hold them, let them grow in value, and then rent them out on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis.
I expect to be honest with you all, I expect some interesting things to be happening at around the 5-year mark. I know a lot of people think that they'll be in and out of this investment within 5 years, or should be. But my expectations have always been a little bit different. I expect them to run into a few problems and a few hiccups and stuff for the first 3 years. This is a space that has never existed before. They don't even know certain problems that they're going to run into yet. No company does, because it's never been done before. So when you take this stuff into consideration, where it's like, okay, this company is combining a cryptocurrency, they're combining licensing, and like when you have them combining these things, the NFTs, it's just, you don't know what you're going to run into. You don't know until you attempt to do something and you realize, this is going to be difficult. So I expect a few hiccups over the first 3 years, truthfully. And then once they start to catch their flow between year 3 to 5, I feel like it's going to be smoother. There's still going to be things, but the company is going to be more built to handle these things that pop up. And I think between year 3 and 5, or between year 5 to 10 is going to be where, definitely between year 5 and 10 is where the magic needs to happen. I think that's when really metaverses are really going to start popping off in the forefront of the world potentially. And Yeah, I mean, this is just the beginning, early stages. So many people are not going to want to adopt this stuff, but yeah, he was actually just bringing up a good point about the passive income opportunities here. So let's hear that again.
For profit, it might be more. So instead of just planning on selling your NFTs for profit, it might be more profitable to actually hold them, let them grow in value, and then rent them out on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis.
So it's different ways to look at your investment and figure out different ways to make money from them. Like there's people there's people on Veve who buy up all the skateboards and stuff like that, who buy up all the cars, who buy up all the vehicles. Like it's people buying that stuff up in preparation of being able to rent it, open a little store or something like that that constantly makes you money. And that's honestly, that's going to be insane. That's going to be sick if they allow that utility and they allow you to ride the boards and things like that, the hoverboards. It's going to be insane. Like you're going to be able to literally go to shops, rent these things, and go ride for some reason, or just use this. So it's interesting. But he actually is going to dive a little bit deeper into some of this stuff. So yeah, think about the passive income opportunities before you make permanent decisions with your collectibles.
So I'm going to talk about reasons for Veve NFTs, but this really applies to any NFTs out there. And we're going to put these reasons in two different categories, the Metaverse category and the real world category. So let's jump into the reasons. And if you want to continue getting these videos when I upload them, hit that subscribe button, throw a thumbs up in there, and comment down below if you think of other reasons that I don't list here as well. So let's jump into it. Starting with the Metaverse reasons. Number one, bragging rights. This might be the top reason people are thinking about renting NFTs right now, is just for the bragging rights.
This might sound crazy, but he got a good point here. Like, look at how many people look at like who was it, Soldier Boy or Bow Wow, who pretended to own a house or a plane or something like that. Like people be flexing, people be renting. Like it's a huge part of the culture to flex with stuff that you don't actually own. So I mean, that could be a thing where you rent one of these things and pretend like you actually got something that you don't have.
So whether you're putting it as your social media profile or you're having a party on your Metaverse land and you want to have a top blue chip NFT where people can come and see it, then this is a reason that you may want to rent out an NFT versus buying it. Number two is gameplay. Now, right now, especially in the Veveverse, gameplay is only a rumor, but in other metaverses, gameplay is a lot of the economy and what's going to be driving people to come to these metaverses.
Actually, it's not a rumor. It's not a rumor in Veve. This has actually been confirmed by David Yu multiple times, by David Yu and Alfred Kahn. Actually, they have both talked about gaming and how that's the biggest aspect of metaverses. So it's confirmed that Veve is going to focus in and go heavy in gaming. They just don't know when, so they don't want people to expect it this year or maybe even next year or something like that. They don't want people to expect high-level gaming just yet, but that is the overall goal of this project. They know that gaming in metaverses is going to be massive, and that's a huge goal for them. So yeah, it's not just a rumor, and it's not just a rumor. It's actually confirmed. Like a lot of this stuff that people don't know, like yes, this stuff is they have talked about this. This stuff is coming.
But let's take the Veveverse as an example. The number one thing people point to as potentially having a mini game tied around it are the Marvel Mighties. The Marvel Mighties are definitely a lower cost NFT compared to a lot of the other NFTs on the platform right now. But depending on the Marvel Mighty that you're going for, they can already be going for thousands of dollars. Now, if there is a gameplay based around the Marvel Mighties and you don't have a complete set, then you're going to want to rent out a Marvel Mighty to be able to participate in this gameplay. The reason you might do that is just to have fun, to play with your friends, have something to do, or if there's a reward tied to it, you're going to want to rent out a Marvel Mighty to be able to play that game. And this can go on with a number of NFTs. We all know that there are vehicles. The DeLorean coming out soon is the 007 car. We have motorcycles, we have hoverboards. And if you're able to race or do anything with those as well, those may be out of reach or thousands of dollars years down the road. And it might be more conducive to be able to just rent those NFTs out to play that game. Number three is to complete a set. As we know, some sets on Veve, they can be multiples of characters, 3, 4, 5, or more characters per set. And you may want to complete that set for whatever reasons it may be. But maybe 1, 2, or 3 of those collectibles are out of reach by the time you have the money to actually complete that set. So in order to do so, maybe you want to rent one instead of actually purchasing that. There's many more reasons why you may want to rent to complete a set, which we'll go over in just a second. But completing a set is definitely a reason why you may want to rent a collectible versus buy in the near future.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about renting to complete a set. I don't even know if renting will allow you, will it add it to your set. I think renting will remain separate from, it's not like, oh, you own the set now, because technically you don't own what you rent. So I don't think that that would apply to your set at all. But I don't know.
Number 4, to be a part of an exclusive drop. Right now, pretty much everyone can participate in any sort of drop that is happening on Veve. But as we move into the future, there's going to be a lot more drops per week. And depending on how desired a collectible may be in the future, they may have an exclusive drop. Now that ties back into why you might want to rent and complete a set, is because maybe if you hold a particular set, that is the only way that you can be part of this exclusive drop. So instead of spending hundreds to thousands of dollars to complete that set, or maybe if it's just to have one collectible to be a part of this exclusive drop, it may make sense to rent that collectible instead of actually purchasing it. Number 5 is breeding. Now, breeding, we're going to use the word loosely, but you may need to rent collectibles to be able to create new NFTs. Now, in other such NFT projects, if you have 2 certain NFTs and you combine those NFTs together, then you can actually create other NFTs from that. From those created NFTs that you now own, you can now resell those or re-rent those out. So instead of having to buy those 2, or maybe you own one and you need to rent the other one, then you can combine those and be making a passive income or some sort of profit from being able to breed your NFTs.
So this is an interesting idea, to be able to breed without actually having to own. Now, I don't know what of this stuff is going to be legit. What if what is actually going to happen? Like, we don't know if you're going to be able to breed a rented versus a owned NFT. We don't know if those 2 worlds are going to be able to combine. But if you can, that does create a new opportunity for people to make some money from this. If you rent for a certain amount of time, however long it takes to breed, you rent, you breed, and you're getting your NFTs from renting and breeding, and now you can now rent out something that's been bred or sell something that's been bred. I mean, that could be a good possible lane. Like somebody who just rents out a bunch of NFTs, breeds them, like breeders, like literally breeders, or like own. Like I would assume that people will own all these who's doing the breeding, but if you can rent, that creates another business aside of the business.
It's a pretty wild idea, but this is the norm in a lot of other NFT projects, and being able to do this same thing in the Veveverse may be a real thing. Number 6, access to different areas. Now, as we all know, I don't need to tell you this, but Veve has the license for Disney, Marvel, DC, and the list go on and on. With that, we can envision a world inside the Veveverse to where there's going to be different areas to visit. There's going to be DC land, there's going to be Marvel land, there's going to be a Disney land within the Veveverse. Now, once again, this is all speculation right now, as nobody knows exactly what the Veveverse is going to be like.
Actually, this is all stuff he says is speculation, but the stuff that he's saying is speculation is actually stuff that's been confirmed. Like the team themselves, like Dan has already said this. Dan has confirmed that there's going to be a Veve city. He's confirmed that the brands are going to have their own cities within the Veveverse. Like, this is all stuff that's been confirmed. So, like, the stuff that he's saying is speculation is actually not speculation. The only thing people are claiming is speculation is if Veve is actually going to deliver, which they've given us no reason to believe that they won't deliver. The only thing that they've given us reason to question is if it'll be delivered within a reasonable time frame. That's it. People try to make things speculation. That's actually not speculation. It's fact. It's confirmed.
But if there are other areas of the Veveverse to visit, maybe by only holding a certain collectible or a certain set are you able to access that part of the Veveverse. And if you don't own that and you want to go in for a day or for a week, you are going to probably want to rent out that collectible to be able to access that part of the world. So instead of spending all your money just to be able to access this part of the Veveverse for a lower price, you can rent that collectible, see that part of the world, see if that's something that you want to be able to have permanent access to, and just rent that collectible before you make that huge purchase.
What's actually interesting is this opens the door. This makes me think about the fact that we could actually have an area within the Veveverse that's only for owners. A owner area where you can't even get in there if you don't own some of these things, if you don't own some of these grails. Like, no option to rent. Like, even if you rent it, you can't get in. You have to really be an owner. And that opens up a new opportunity to actually own, you know, for people who do own, it creates a new, it's a little bit more valuable now, that because you have your own area where, okay, like this is where the, like, because the people who own is going to be the whales. So once this turns into what it's going to be, the owners are going to be the whales. So yeah, especially compared to everyone else. So yeah, you got to think about this.
Leveling up, for instance, in the Masters Collector program. Now this as well, we've only seen documentation about what the Masters Collector program will be, but we know by having a certain amount of collectibles in your collection at certain levels of rarity that you get daily, weekly, monthly points that will put you in certain levels of the Masters Collector program. In order to level up quickly, or maybe you're right on the line between certain levels and you need to get those extra points to move you up to the next level, you may want to rent a collectible. Now, once that renting economy starts up, maybe there is a secret rare that is actually fairly low cost to rent versus to own. And by doing so, renting that for a certain amount of time, it gives you those points. You're able to level up and get to that next level. Now, as you can see, there are plenty of reasons within the digital realm.
That's the speculation. That's the type of stuff that's actually speculative. If you'll really be able to get points and stuff by renting. That's very speculative.
Someone would want to rent an NFT. But now let's go into the real world. Number one is exclusive parties. We are starting to see this in big NFT projects like the Bored Ape Yacht Club, and we're
definitely going to be a Walt Disney party someday. Definitely going to be a Walt Disney party. They actually have this new technology where you can unlock doors using your NFT. Well, I feel like Walt and Mickey at some point is definitely going to be a key somewhere, as well as the Spider-Man, the secret rare Spider-Man. I feel like that's going to be a key somewhere.
We're also starting to see this within Veve as these groups are starting to form. As these collectibles start to grow in notoriety and to grow more cult following, there may be exclusive parties that you can enter if you hold a certain collectible. Now, it can be for any reason, that maybe the Ecomi or Veve team is holding an in-person gathering, and if you hold a certain collectible or a certain set, then you're able to get into that party for free versus paying a cover charge. Or maybe your favorite YouTuber or influencer is holding a party, and if you hold a certain NFT, that you're able to come into the party. Or it may just be for networking in general, but either way, there could be groups forming around a certain NFT, and for a certain event that is maybe tied to a character, a movie, something like that, there may be real world access into these parties by holding these NFTs. And if people are holding parties around these NFTs and they are out of reach cost-wise, you'll probably want to rent that NFT to access that party. Number two are special experiences. As we know, we have Disney as part of the Veve family, and we have the first ever Disney NFTs on the blockchain. Now, none of this has been confirmed, but there is plenty of utility that could be built in to be able to access parts of Disneyland. Whether that's just a discount for holding this NFT, or possibly having a fast pass experience by if you hold a certain NFT that you can get to front of certain lines, or which I think is the coolest, that as these NFTs grow out and people like more of these digital experiences tied with the real world, you could have a special experience that no one else can have. And what I mean by that is, let's say you have the first ever Star Wars NFT. You're able to show your QR code at the front of the door, and by holding it, maybe for that day, or whether it's just an ongoing thing, but by holding that Star Wars NFT, you're able to have an experience that no one else around you is going to have. Now, as everyone else is getting on that ride or roller coaster, just as a regular person would, they hand you a VR headset that you're able to put on and have a totally new experience that no one else is able to have. And just by holding that NFT, you, your family, and friends around you are all able to have that special experience that maybe, because each one of these NFTs are $10,000 or more, that you would be willing to spend a few hundred to $500 to maybe even $1,000 to be able to have that extra experience like no one else can have. That then will just grow the awareness of that NFT. As people in line see you wearing this VR headset, they want to know what that's about. They want to have that experience as well. And by doing that, they're able to research that more, and then it's going to be able to rent out even more and more in the future.
That's actually an amazing idea. I never thought about that. That's an amazing idea. Then especially giving people a VR headset in front of somebody. Like if you give something public that everyone can see and wonder why they can't get that, that's going to be like everyone on that ride is going to be like, yo, how can I get that? What is that? Like why do they get that? And people are going to want to buy that. People are going to hop on the app, look at the prices, and you're going to be able to buy or rent. Like eventually you're going to be able to have the option to buy or rent. And if you buying things through Veve, because you have to realize anytime someone buys this stuff, like they could literally just give you free entry into Disney World forever type of thing. Like they could give you that, because when you buy this stuff, they get enough in fees to where it would cover you damn near paying for to go there. It depends on how much you go there, but it would damn near cover your experience going there. Like that's how much buying some of these NFTs are going to be. Especially like if Walt and Mickey actually does hit $1 million, like come on now, like you should definitely be able to just get into Disney World whenever. Like that utility, I don't see them not doing that. And then even renting it out. What if you wanted to rent out your Walt and Mickey? Like I think that would be a good that would be cost effective too, because anytime people rent, the licensor still is going to get paid from it. So they're still getting paid. It's just not direct payment. So I mean, it's interesting. It's an interesting concept what this renting could actually do for the world.
And lastly, other exclusive events like movies, Telegram groups, and Discords. Now, this is a little mix between the metaverse and real world, but basically the options are endless. As long as there are people that find these things valuable, whether it's, some high-end, high-cost NFTs that everyone desires, or whether it's just you and your friends that think this NFT or this set is really cool and you start to grow a cult following around it, you can really build in any sort of utility that you want. That's why I think this world is so cool, and I know people get stressed out and they get worried because things aren't happening as fast as you may like it. And timelines seem to draw out longer than promised, and it's hard to envision what it is going to be moving forward. And at the end of the day, we could be making some really good passive income, renting out our NFTs to people who want to experience this world with us. You're lucky enough to have the mindset to know that these NFTs are going to be something in the future, and you're watching it evolve right before your very eyes.
A lot of people don't know these are going to be something in the future. That's the thing. A lot of people are treating this like it's other spaces like Top Shot and things like that. I mean, realistically, what utility is going to come with buying something on Top Shot? What utility could possibly come from some of these other the things people are buying? I mean, I guess maybe a free hot dog at a basketball game. Like, I mean, okay, I'll buy your NFT for a free hot dog. Like, what, even a free sit down at a game sometimes or something? Like, I mean, what utility could possibly come from some of this stuff on Top Shot? I mean, yeah, you could go to all the basketball games, and I guess if you're a big basketball fan, that could be important, but I don't know. Like, yeah, I honestly doubt that they would even do that though. I doubt that they would, like Disney World, like getting in Disney World, people holding Walt. I believe that, I don't know. It's hard. Maybe they would even make it like, I believe that maybe some business, depending on how much these NFTs are going for, maybe they would make free entry a thing. Who knows?
Well, I hope this brought some clarity to why people may want to rent out your NFTs. Maybe not just buying and selling to make a profit. That might not just be the end game. But as this space evolves, as this rental economy evolves as well, there seems to be plenty of reasons why people would want to rent out your NFT. And even though some of these reasons have not been confirmed yet and are only speculation, these are reasons why I could see someone wanting to rent out your NFT in the future. And I know that there are reasons we can't even think of yet that hasn't even been created on why people would want to rent out your NFT. And if you can think of any other reason why people would want to rent out your NFT that I missed, put it down in the comments down below. That's the point of this channel, so we can all learn together. And as this space evolves, we can stay on top of it and really capitalize on this amazing opportunity we have right before us.
Yeah, so I mean, there we have it. This is basically the end of the video, man. I think this was amazing. He brought up a lot of amazing points, and if you enjoyed hearing his perspective on it, I definitely agree with a lot of what he said. Be sure to check him out. Check out his channel. Show him some love. Show him some support. But yeah, keep in mind the big opportunities you miss out on being a non-believer, because the fact of the matter is everyone complains about, oh, the whales are doing good, the whales don't have to worry, the OGs are fine. It's a reason that we're always fine. We always come out winning. We've been believing in this project from the jump as soon as we heard about it. So many people are coming in and wanting to go right back out, and then a few years from now when you hear about all the benefits us holders get because we just held, you're going to be mad. You're going to be mad like, man, like these prices are crazy now. This is happening now. That's happening now. It's utility, a whole metaverse. You can do this in the metaverse. You can do that. You can rent. Like, it's easy to be in your feelings and emotional right now. But guess what? When you mad, when you're emotional, when you do something out of your feelings and then you sell, you be like, F this project. Then once it's built out and years later, who's the real loser? Like, only the decisions that you make right now with your investment. See, the thing is, I would not be invested in this company if I didn't believe that they could deliver these things that they said that they could. I would not be invested in. Like, they're figuring out ways to do it. We didn't know that they would be ready to handle millions of people. They were only ready to handle 60,000 people, but then they figured out how to handle millions of people. They figure out the problems that they have. When Immutable X, the transition, Immutable X was having problems. Veve stepped up and helped Immutable X figure out how to do what they needed them to do. Like they literally had a collaborative experience with that team. They literally, one business started helping another business just so they both could get it right. It's like, this is the type of stuff that Veve does. And while people want to give them hell for it, like, there's no company like it in my opinion. But yeah, let me know y'all thoughts in the comment section down below, man. Be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe, turn on notifications so you stay updated. And yeah, I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace out, Joe.